Hi, this is Jeffrey Thomas Bodin. It is 2021-08-02 0044 a.m. And this is tech support and feedback related to the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office for their Teletype integrated and interoperational systems. I'm going to use this as reference myself and hope that it can be of use to provide a user display UI for my submission of the tip at this URL for the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office. I think my mouse is not in the window, but I am mousing over it right now. That is in the window. The St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office here at the URL of, I just expanded it, of the HTTPS www.report-a-crime/1439. I don't recall why that's there, 1439, but that has been my bookmark for years now. So I don't know what bearing it would have on a portal access that should generate and display the same every time and call an API when you push a webhook or something is what I'd assume. But if it's the Teletype, I don't have enough knowledge of that protocol to say either way, even though I did plan to look into it later. So this is just the main thing. I already have it filled out, but I'll run through it. This surrounds the incident on 2021-07-28 with the battery upstairs, a master bedroom door between myself and my mother, and with the deputies that did respond to the 911 call. So this is just, you fill it out, and the forms I auto-populated with Google, but I don't believe that should change how this is sent through. But just so you know, they are auto-populated. I did not enter each one of these by hand. This is a different, the would you like an investigator to call you? I've switched that to no from previous usual default yeses. This is still yes, and this is still yes. Apologies. And always set to other, and this see manual entry of the field. Manual entry of the field, auto population of the field, manual entry of the field. Yes, like always. This right here, auto population of the field, and you can see that this is the actual auto population itself. And here's the actual tip formatted like I have been doing. This time just without a YouTube video description, so there's less backslashes and other plain text separation for normal plain text standards associated with the typical white papers you'd see published on internet protocols. I took that out and did not include the YouTube video description, because this is not just about a YouTube video description, but about follow-up corresponding health medical concerns and potentials for trauma. So I didn't really have a specific video or audio or of anything besides just me following up. So here's it, and I'm just gonna scroll through it. This here, the start context, that is, I include that every time. This right here, this colon, should be one of the only ones in here. I try to remove those when I can due to conflicts I understand. I'm not sure if this has bearing to Teletype, but it could. Oh wait, no, here's one more. Because this follows the copy and paste that I've been doing, so I just want to leave that the same. And actually there's another one. And another. Oops. Sorry about that. There. And two more. Now here's the actual, just normal additive description. Oh, and time, yeah, for that right here. Because of the placement of my head and repeated hits from the door. I know that is a concern in other contexts. I'm not certain if it was in this context, but I wanted to file and so I can follow up with my physicians. This is also due to a not just over leverage, but due to the weight and mass per kilograms of me being approximately 45 to 50 kilograms. I did 50 at a good day, I'd say. Yeah, for sure. But typically within that range. 102 pounds last time I, with shoes on, last time I was at the hospital. So, which is fairly decent to sufficient, with that to 105 being about my normal average. And at that point I'd be displaying significant muscle mass due to my extreme lack of body fat percentage. Basically, as a cancer patient, that's always just been my normal. So that has a significant effect on over leveraging in order to go against the acceleration due to gravity with the door going inwards. So it's more of me just acting as a physical door stop at kind of an angle until my muscles collapse, and did collapse. More so losing the tensile strength in my muscles because of a repetitive strain collapse, I believe. As my position wouldn't have changed to relax, and would have instead of just continued to be tensed. And I had the heart rate data from that also when I was like 100 and, because I was wearing my Fitbit, and this is a good as time as any to mention that. But that was shown to be well, I'm wasting time looking this up, I suppose, but well, oh, of course, it was at Wednesday, July 28th, 2021, the peak was significantly higher than my typical resting heart rate of 74 beats per minute daily, peaking at my 68 beats per minute at 4:55 a.m. that day on the 28th, and 141 beats per minute at 10:55 p.m. was the height. So that was the height of my strain, and that is a marathon, probably higher than a marathon running heart rate. You'd want it lower than that. But yeah, I don't think I've hit anywhere close to that in years. That was very significant in beats per minute. And I don't believe I was on my medication, actually. No, I was not. So I was not on the typical stimulant, Adderall, for my narcolepsy. So my heart rate should have been lower anyway. But that was at 10:55. And that affected this as well. And to continue, since this is the tech support thing, I would have included that in this inline, but I'm going to submit this as is. And just have it be verbalized. Oops. And then this shows my device itself, the phone, position of the phone, behind the door, in between the shelves that are right behind the door when it swings open fully. Makes a bit of a triangle. That's kind of where I ended up until the deputies arrived. And the phone. So I am ending this, a submission in this text field, with a period. With that line starting with 2 dashes and a space. So from what I recall about Teletype from speaking to the deputy, it cuts off after a certain amount of characters. So just know it's 2 dash space strings and last string ending with a period, so as to properly reconstruct a concatenated, inappropriately concatenated text, since I'm assuming it's just delimiting by some sort of a num check for strings. If it's not, then I don't know enough about Teletype at all to say if it's legitimately a through the phone or pager system and they don't have anything that parses the strings, and it does by tones, then I have no idea. But if it's by strings, then you can use something like someone putting a period and popping up to or adding the period before it's sent in the webhook and encapsulating the whole thing, and then you'd be able to easily reconstruct anything they send, because you could just have it display sans the encapsulation, like with backticks or truncated or something, unless it's truncating each line when it sends through to a certain amount of characters. That would be awful. You could put everything on one line too before it's sent as well. I don't no idea how you do that with a website though. Now I'm gonna hit the verification. See, it verified successfully. Nothing in the page has changed or the operating environment, even if it has been a bit of time. At 19 minutes, yes, it has been a bit of time, but it has otherwise not changed. Now I'm going to hit submit. Oh, wait, no. I'm going to take screenshots first. I usually do that to add to the album, which was noted at the front. I update that album from what I'm about to show with the album, just so that there's some sort of a record. Okay, now I'm going to submit. As you can see, it's a submit a crime tip. Thank you, your form has been submitted. And the URL changed to a /thank you. Now I'll show the album that typically would be included for when, so that in case the album itself is delimited improperly or parsed out or something, because it's a web link, you can see what it would have been, which is just screenshots of this basically, and a screenshot of the YouTube page. So this is it, and it's just, here's the screenshot I took on my phone while I was holding the phone with the 911 call. Google has this for Android 11 for my Pixel 3a. On the dev, probably the beta or release candidate cycle, so this might not be the typical phone Google, default pure Android phone setup. The UI probably doesn't look like this for everybody else, but it does for if someone's registered with the Android open source program and the dev setup for this, so that I'm highlighting it with the copy link pop up. And you can see that screenshot was taken at 2021-07-28-2254 for 8 minutes and 20-second call time for concurrent call time, making it starting at a 2021-07-28 22:46. Well, for 45 and some odd seconds. And whenever you do, if my mouse still isn't showing up, on the middle part of the image, medical, fire, and police, if you press any of these three, Google will pop up with a Google Voice automated messaging, so as to alert operator without speaking, which from the operator himself trying to get over the noise that was around me, stated to me with my voice, my phone was on max volume and I could still barely hear it, over the him being actually, I think, cut off by Google with this operator without speaking. The police thing, it basically just tells you it tells you this information here, and it verbalizes it with like a robocall operator, a female voice probably, because I think that's the one I have set. And the operator himself, who was listening for, I guess, dispatch, had remarked that it is too loud and he could not hear anything else, so it likely overrides the sound from the surroundings and doesn't play it in the background as well, like a soundboard or something would do. Is my best guess, because I've heard it for the Google operator setup in other contexts, and that's what it did. So I'm assuming it's the same here. And this, then, for the whole Google phone operator setup, it's a very much early beta type deal. So that's it. That might be this whole thing here. Oh, I can highlight it. This whole thing here might be entirely distinct from normal individuals. Here's the update for me with medical. That was done about a day later. And it's just me posing in different positions to properly showcase the alignment of my spine and head and things, and the damage for muscles, and like where it would significantly sore, like which exact places, or like where the bone felt possibly, I'm not a very good judge, but bruised, just to get it on a video for my physician's reference in the future, as I did in the past completely miss having a dislocated shoulder for months at a time. I know by now I have to take precautions such as this, because I won't actually know. So here's the second thing for the description, and then here's the actual what I just submitted, but in an image. So we can go to the link after properly concatenating it if it's delimited, and then see this, which is just taken from a PDF for the images, which looks nicer. And then here's the video itself. See, it's just me, and there's the door in the background. And there's trying to, there you can see me trying to show like where it is, and like here with my bone. Here's that description from earlier. So it is now 2021 07 or 08 02 0110. This has been a tech and feedback support for the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office and their submit a crime tip text field submission service that goes through the Teletype in relating to me, Jeffrey Thomas Bodin, and 528 Beauchene Drive for the incident on 2021-07-28 and subsequent follow-up.